Tonight, the unprecedented move by the Democratic Party launching that political tradition held every 4 years, but going virtual during the pandemic. The coronavirus and other tough issues taking center stage on the first night of the DNC, wrapping up just moments ago. And for the very latest, we go straight to ABC's Mary Bruce reporting from our nation's capital. Mary.
Well, Juju, Democrats tonight kicked off a convention like none other. There was no packed convention floor, no cheering or applause. Instead, what we saw was a series of choreographed videos and virtual speeches from across the country and across the party. The goal here was to show that Joe Biden can speak to all Americans, not just Democrats. Tonight was also a chance for the Democratic Party to show they're united. So we heard from Biden's former rivals, including Senator Bernie Sanders, and also from prominent Republicans, an attempt to show that Biden has a broad coalition. And while we did briefly hear from the candidate himself in a conversation with racial justice leaders, his big acceptance speech won't come until Thursday. His challenge over these next 3 days is to not just make the case against President Trump, but to also convince voters that Joe Biden, is the right person to carry the country forward. Juju.
Thanks, Mary. Unlike the pomp and circumstance of previous conventions, tonight it's the big names lending star power to this year's virtual DNC.
So if you take one thing from my words tonight, it is this. If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can and they will if we don't make a change in this election.
Michelle Obama delivering an impassioned keynote speech on the first night of the Democratic National Convention.
If we have any hope of ending this chaos, we have got to vote for Joe Biden like our lives depend on it.
The former First Lady and the former two-time presidential contender and rabble-rouser, Senator Bernie Sanders, making the case for Joe Biden.
My friends, I say to you, to everyone who supported other candidates in the primary, and to those who may have voted for Donald Trump in the last election, the future of our democracy is at stake.
In a historic convention, virtual speaker after speaker.
The Joe I know is exactly the leader our country needs right now.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will lead by example.
So we will need a president who sees unifying people as a requirement of the job.
Drawing a sharp contrast between the former vice president and the current president, Donald Trump.
Continuing to follow that path will have terrible consequences for America's soul.
Bernie once again urging those who backed his progressive presidential bid to rally behind the moderate frontrunner in November.
Our campaign ended several months ago, but our movement continues and is getting stronger every day.
Tonight's message, set aside differences in the name of unity. A clarion call to Democrats after a primary season that saw 28 candidates whittled down to one.
He's the kind of leader that brings other leaders in.
Tonight's taped speeches, a far cry from the fanfare and raucous chanting of the 2016 convention.
Hillary Clinton must become the next president of the United States.
Michelle Obama owning the stage, coining that now familiar slogan.
When someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
It was an unconventional day for the DNC, the first largely virtual convention in its 188-year history. Taking place in Milwaukee's Wisconsin Center. The theme of the night, We the People, featuring video testimonies from everyday Americans.
My dad was a healthy 65-year-old. His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid with his life.
But it was also a star-studded affair, from actress Eva Longoria.
Every 4 years, we come together to reaffirm our democracy. This year, we've come to save it.
To Leon Bridges.
But it's just another day.
And performances by Billy Porter and Stephen Stills.
Gotta stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
How are you? Thanks for doing this.
Mr. Vice President.
The candidate himself, Joe Biden, making an appearance in a video, speaking about racial justice.
We cannot have 18,000 police departments, and in 2020 have police departments still allowing the use of a knee on a man's neck.
The family of George Floyd calling for a moment of silence to honor their brother and all those whose lives were lost due to racial injustice.
Our actions will be their legacies. We must always find ourselves in what John Lewis called good trouble.
Today's convention playing out against the backdrop of a global pandemic. Over 170,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus since March. The gravity of what America has been through and the federal response, a central part of tonight's theme.
Today's Monday, day 170.
New York's Governor Cuomo delivering one of his trademark presentations, calling out President Trump.
Only a strong body can fight off the virus, and America's divisions weakened it. Donald Trump didn't create the initial division. The division created Trump. He only made it worse.
In Wisconsin, President Trump hitting the campaign trail, speaking to a crowd of several hundred, criticizing Joe Biden and his virtual convention.
But these are people that are seriously radical left. Joe Biden is nothing but their puppet. He has no clue what's happening. And they're making speeches that are taped. Who wants to listen to Michelle Obama do a taped speech?
The counter-programming coming as the president finds himself at the moment fighting from behind, still trailing by large margins in most national polls.
Yes, Trump definitely still has a shot at re-election.
Last week, 538 launched its first 2020 presidential forecast, which showed Joe Biden holding a 72% chance of securing the White House come November. Trump's chances only slightly lower than on election night 2016.
The bottom line, it's simply too soon for a model or for anybody else to be all that confident about what is going to happen.
And tonight, even a number of Republican politicians entering enemy territory.
I'm Governor Christine Todd Whitman. What am I doing here? I'm a lifelong Republican.
Crossing party lines to oppose their own party's incumbent, uniting against a common foe with a singular goal: defeat Donald Trump.
I'm Meg Whitman. I'm a longtime Republican and a longtime CEO.
Hi, I'm Susan Molinari. I'm a former Republican member of Congress from New York City, and I've known Donald Trump for most of my political career. So disappointing, and lately so disturbing.
Molinari then introducing Ohio Governor John Kasich.
I'm a lifelong Republican, but that attachment holds second place to my responsibility to my country. That's why I've chosen to appear at this convention.
Tonight, he endorsed the former vice president.
We can do better than what we've been seeing today, for sure. And I know that Joe Biden, with his experience and his wisdom and his decency, can bring us together to help us find that better way.
Setting the tone as the Democrats work this week to sway American voters.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.